guess that the feeling that you have if you aren't teaching creatively is a feeling of being bored, or a feeling of no energy, or a feeling of struggling through. And I guess the reasons why people might feel that this is an uncreative or anti-creative period of time on the planet, I'm not just talking about this organization, may be very complex reasons. It may be to do with the economic climate, it may be to do with lack of job security, it may be to do with the fact that children born in the 80s have now largely taken over the consciousness, which was a time of Mimi generation and materialism. Not so in execs, when a child born in the 50s is still running the show. But there could be all kinds of different complex reasons why there is this sort of feeling that it's not a particularly creative or even anti-creative period of time on the planet Earth. This 30 minutes is my antidote to that. So it's let creativity into the classroom. Let creativity because actually once you're in the classroom, the creativity is there, and it's just a question of letting it be. So, so there's my learning objectives for this particular section. We're going to look at what is creativity and what it means for a teacher, the advantages of a creative approach, looking at the blocks to creativity in the classroom. We're going to practice a little bit of being creative, and then there'll be some references to take away. That's actually doing it. Someone would like that anyway. So, creativity, generally speaking, I think we could probably in this room all agree that there is no particular one fit-all approach to teaching a language because the students are complexly different, they all have different ways of learning, and we're all complexly different too. We all have different styles of teaching. Generally speaking, a creative approach can be used by everybody. So if we define creative as something that is both new and useful, that's a broad-ranging definition of creative. Creativity isn't an option for the language teacher. You have to be creative. And it can be your best friend, in fact. There are no experts. I'm certainly not an expert. I mean, everybody needs to develop their own particular style of creativity. And it can be, as I said earlier, a teacher's best friend. It entails freedom from repeated methodology. When you're trying something creative, you're trying something new and useful. So why is creativity important? The language learning is a creative act in itself, so that's number one reason why it's important. Students can use these compensation strategies, for example, miming and signage, all the things that they need when they cannot actually speak the language. They can use creative approaches. Some students actually feel blocked if they can't be creative, if they cannot see that there's something new and useful that's coming out of the language. Most people are more motivated, inspired or challenged if they can be creative. Also, creativity can develop your self-esteem. It can make you feel better. Creative work in the language classroom can lead to genuine communication and cooperation. So this is basically about talking or learning about something that's new and unique. And of course, creative thinking is a real life skill. Do interrupt if there's anything that anybody wants to comment on. So that's why it's important for students. They actually did a survey of 700 British secondary school students and asked them what are the qualities of a good teacher. The number one was that they referenced was that the teacher should be original. This was number one thing that was important. So in other words, creative teachers were the ones that they wished to do. Being creative is also good for teachers as well. It can fuel the teaching process, help you from becoming bored and repetitive. It introduces the element of surprise and fun, caters for student diversity and different learning styles. Creative teachers can catch the students' attention. Learning is more meaningful for students and the lessons are more memorable. And you are a much more flexible teacher when you are able to be creative.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, are creative teachers born or made?
There are different types of creativity. When we think of creativity, we often think of the fantastic creative people, such as Leonardo da Vinci. None of us are like that, but there is such a thing as C-type creativity, which can be learned, which I'm going to teach you how to do. So basically, those amazingly creative people are all, and ordinary people like us can be creative. They can be learned. Now there are some obstacles, especially within organizations, to creativity. Creativity can from time to time upset establishment norms. You know, the hierarchy can be bothered if there's a sort of different kind of feeling coming from a particular classroom. It can upset people. They think, oh, that teacher's not being very serious, or those students are not going to enjoy that, and so management can be upset. If you're working in a place where there's a rigid syllabus, or even for some IELTS even, so some IELTS teachers become very rigid and think, well, I can't be creative, I've just got to follow this particularly rigid syllabus. If there isn't an environment that supports creativity, it can be difficult to be a creative teacher. And also, personally speaking, some people fear that they're going to fail from attempting to be creative. They feel maybe they'll need to step outside their own particular comfort zone. And then another possible problem is that a particular individual tries to be too creative too quickly. So, some advice. Have fun, play, laughter's good. Andrew Breton, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, he actually quoted and said, "Teacher, enjoy yourself or you'll bore us." To think creatively, you need to break away from usual patterns stored in your memory. So, what we can do is use the word create as an acronym for being creative. So if you want to be creative, and this is how you do it, Jane, try combining something. Can I combine something in a new way? Can I reverse parts of a process? Can I take away or remove something from a part or a process? Are there alternative methods or materials that I can use? Can I twist something around? Can I extend, elaborate, or add something? This is a kind of blueprint way of ordinary people being creative. Some questions about that? Shall we try?
I'm just thinking, as you said, some people are saying as children read philosophy,
Yes.
something one is procedure.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a sort of yin and yang, isn't it? But you've really got to make the balance between the two. The kids who can maths ability, or even the students, taking to different school, whatever. So it's that lovely balance. So
Yeah.
creativity's got to be there, but so has procedure, so has reliability, so has take too much away. People do that. But as you say,
Your creative challenge in that context is to work within the framework and the boundaries that create a security, but also create freedom, but within that kind of solid boundary. And that's quite an interesting thing. I mean, I think in terms of being a teacher in any role, in an organisation like this, for example, there are always these imposed boundaries which are put on us, and to find it's very. I don't think creativity that just flies up to the moon and then back again is terribly interesting. It's actually for me always much more interesting to be able to find the creative approach within the framework. So let's practice. I've got some paper, some pens, if anybody wants to write something. There's just some scrap paper here. Anybody needs a pen? Alright, so we're just going to practice a couple of those, and then I'm going to get you to do some group work as well. Let's just work with combine. If I combine Italian food with Chinese food, then I come up with... We'll just write it down. You've got a particular dish. What did you come up with?
I just wrote
Chitalian. Okay. Anybody come up with a particular dish?
Sweet and sour spaghetti.
I was going to write that, but I wrote sweet and sour pizza.
Lovely.
And I have deep fried meatballs.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Let's try reversing something. List 3 ways of drinking water without holding the glass in your hands. Anything different?
Perhaps if you could run the tap and just sort of, that's what it's called, isn't it? You suck it from the top.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a rule that you also wanted to have that to the straw. I had lap it up like a dog, straw, or get someone to give it to you as a
You see. A way of drinking water without holding the glass, Nick?
Way of drinking water without holding the glass. Off the table.
Just
With a straw.
Oh, with a straw. And this is the lady who likes to be served. All right, a bit of creative problem solving on your own again, working on your own at the moment. Think of 3 ways to make a chair cost £1 million.
This artist's signature on it. Make it of gold, or get fancy to sit on it and sign it.
Thank you very much.
More or less the same. You can cross the lines, say that then you must make it, do it a conference like Louis XVI and 70s.
Thank you, very similar ideas.
I like the same.
Yeah.
No, I hate Lady God.
No buttons of off, yeah, cost a lot, yeah.
Well, I had it could remove my share if you auction it for charity to millionaires.
Okay.
I think maybe the shape of this one should say MC shows. Okay, we've invented the lollipop sandwich. So you've got we've reversed the bread and the filling here whereabouts. And you've got the bread in the middle, the old ones, and the skew, you stick along. And then on the outside we've got the spread and then we cover it with
Especially juiced gelatine shell that doesn't have taste.
and
that
gives
holds
it a
all
shape.
together.
Like those things.
You can give different shapes and things.
Fantastic.
It is delicious.
It's
You
got
can have
this.
seashells. No, we're just calling it the lollipop sandwich at the moment.
Is that picture?
We've got 2 pictures of it.
Did you create something down here? No.
Another
Done
one
with
is
you.
called
We did.
Yes.
Well, we have various ideas. But I was thinking of something like the original Clayton display here, so savoury sandwich, sweet sandwich. So you would kind of the savoury side and then do
Is missing in the world.
oh, I know.
What do we want to
How's the way to invent this? I want instant insights. Kind of like a telescopic like you press a button and you mass the sail there's none of this messing around with ropes pouring it onto the mast. Can't know.
And they're heavy as well, aren't they, when you put them on the water?
I have to have a rope to do it.
Oh, yes, I am. So I can do any particular gadget. That's some great thinking in the meantime, though. Yeah, Morris
We
was
did
yeah.
portable espresso machine.
An individual one.
Well,
Yep,
cup.
individual.
Yeah.
Those-
It's like an espresso cup.
Thank you. Now, some possible creative work that you can do in a exact business context. I think, though, I probably would choose to work with bigger groups, but because it's so few of us here today, I think we'll just keep these pairs that we've got now. What I would like you to do, if you are just thinking about the two of you as you are, think of a name for your group. If you were about to launch yourselves into the business world, what name would you have? Thinking about who you are, thinking about it. What name would you come up if you were about to launch yourself into the business context? Yeah.
Business venture.
No, but it's not a name.
Yeah, no.
A name for the company.
Yeah, yeah.
HC.
See, we don't want to do vision glasses because so, and I thought the rude one, and that what one? We'd be the dynamic
All right,
duo.
okay.
We'd be the
Different
creative-
kinds of businesses, obviously. Just discuss for a minute now, because we're running out of time, what you'd put on your business card. You can draw one if you want to draw it, Jenny. Yeah.
Automatic clean
Yeah.
and strong.
Yes.
So we've just got using top and then back we decided to put something like this. So
A colour. What colour?
minimalist.
yeah, we just got
Green.
yes. Well I wanted to make gold
I'm sorry, I've even forgotten the name of your company already. Dear oh dear. JHC.
Six.
Yes. The card.
Website. What else? And a slogan. But we haven't thought of that.
So, yes.
Yep. What are symbols and owls? We haven't quite defined.
Eight auspicious symbols. It's quite a different company, isn't it? That just about brings my seminar to a conclusion. Here's some references. Paper references if you would like.
Oh, very good. Thanks.
This is not everything you can just put into Google creativity in innate